Hello, 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 Thought Positive Tribe. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It's your sis Tina Ricks, and we are here for another episode of Self Love Sundays. I have a wonderful group with me today. We have Miss Ma Barker, Mr. Cluren Williams, and Dr. Jones. He is returning for the third time. So, how's everybody doing today?
Great. Looking
Great.
beautiful as usual. Nice to see you.
So, this is the last Sunday of 2020. So, our topic's got to be about how we're going to go into the new year. So, the topic is, are you ready for 2021? Are you ready for 2021? So that's where we're going to start today. And when we say, are you ready, we'll be talking about, are you ready as far as it relates to love, life, and business, or, whatever your professional goals are, whatever your goals are that are going to feed your family or feed yourself, basically. So we'll put that in the business section. So we can start with, it doesn't matter if you're married, single, engaged, still having goals in the love department is important. So we're going to start with you, Ma, and ask, what are some goals that one could have to help them in love as they go into 2021?
Well, the most important thing about love in 2021 is just self-awareness and self-love, because you cannot start to love anybody unless you love yourself.
That's right.
I think it's about just doing the homework, making sure that your heart is open and that you're forgiving. There's a lot of things because people took a lot of loss this year. Money, family, jobs. This was a rough year. So to come up out of this, you're going to have to do some self-training, and understand what your purpose is here. So first thing is first, like I said, forgiving, making sure you're okay with what's going on and you're prepared. You don't hold any grudges, because, we chose to be here at this time. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the mission. Life is temporary. So if you could get up and stay strong and make sure you love yourself first, then everything else is going to fall in place.
I love that answer. That's a wonderful answer.
Thank
so,
you.
In love, and starting with loving yourself is so important, because if you don't love yourself right, it's going to be almost impossible, or if not all the way impossible, to love someone else correctly. Thanks so much, Dr. Jones. In love, goals going into 2021. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Well, one of my things I think we're going into 2021, when I think about, moving forward into the next year, I just think about the main word that comes to mind every time I think about it is gratitude. It's got to be grateful, because, this past year, like you were saying, man, it's been tough. It's been a rough year. There's been a lot of people that didn't make it through 2020. There's been a lot of people that have had are sick, and there are a lot of people that have lost loved ones, and that their goals weren't met. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people have been, evicted from their homes. They lost a lot of big things. And so, like you said, it is important to understand and be grateful for what you have. Because if you start with gratitude, it's going to be easier to move forward from here to learn to love yourself. So I think if you start with, because, we could say, oh, man, this is all terrible around me. We're losing our jobs. We're getting evicted. But think about what you have. You still have to breathe. You can breathe. You got clothes on your back. You got food on your table. You can still talk to your family on Zoom. All these things. And so moving forward into 2021, I think starting with gratitude and just talking every single day from now all the way on to the next day, just about all the great things that are going on in your life. Because at this point, that's all you need to talk about. We can talk about all the crazy stuff going on in the world and all the negative things happening. There's going to be more. It's going to, this is how the world works. We have to find a balance, but everyone chooses to choose self-love and gratitude. We're going to be able to make it through this together, and we're all going to have a positive and great 2021.
Okay. So, yes. Mr. Cluren, can you give us some, advice or some words for someone in love? We're on the topic of love right now, some goals and things to be cognizant of, to work towards as we go into 2021.
You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go. All right. First off, as a humanitarian, we might want to make sure that we keep our focus on brotherly love which is something that we give to any sex, gender, color, race, or whatever. And something that we have to practice as a whole because that's what we're screaming. But we have to kind of like particularly start placing these words and energies into what we're actually talking about when we're talking about community and we're talking about our people. There's nothing wrong with you being for our people. I am a person that is basically living an entire life on bringing a health and wealth and spiritual growth of our people or my people that I'm cultivated with. And that is not a problem. I have a problem with saying that any chance I get, I let everybody know. So, but also for personal love, make sure that you're just checking your list of your responsibilities. Um, each human being is responsible for their own five senses. Um, as parents, if you have children, for men, it is our initial chance to actually start our own family. And for that reason, we have to make sure our household is together before we can go out and get into the community and give back like we want to. Because it's too much contradiction out here. Leadership is born, and this is the era of leadership going into 2021, making sure that you love the people that God gave you in your life. One thing I always notice in the black family is hard to get along with the family members, first cousins and sisters and brothers, and you see it all the time. And they'll go void without communicating. And we thought COVID would fix some of those things, making us join. And you still have a lot of fighting and quarrels going on within the family. And so, if you cannot love your own family that you got blood related to, just don't think that I will believe that you love me. I say that because these are things you have to practice with things that God has given you responsibility of. Loving your children, loving your woman correctly, her loving you back correctly. All these little healthy things we need, we have to start getting them, especially for our leaders. Shout out to all our leaders and people who make a way with little bits of nothing or less to nothing resources, but still find ways to bring support for others in this time, which is something that I do. And so, for all those who are getting involved in doing that, this is, I want to let you know that we pray for you and we hope that God gives you everything you need to continue to do what you're doing because we will need you in the years to come ahead. But that's my outlook on love within your life and the brotherly love that you should be willing to give on a daily basis, which will get us back to being humanitarians.
All right. Thank you so much. That was really good. So I would say, with the first, one of the categories we're talking about being like in love, if you, are single again or, divorced, I would say focus on the upside of a downside situation. So you always got to look for the positive, right? Because we want to keep things positive, not like why did this happen to me and all these things. Well, okay, now that this happened, what opportunities can I make out of this? How can I learn from this? How can I help someone else from this? So, you're always going to be able to rise up from any loss, right? If you choose to. It's all about how you conceptualize things in your mind, right? So focusing on the upside of a downside situation is healthy. And then look for the opportunity in a difficult situation. So what opportunities may I take on now that I am single? So sometimes with love and in the love life, if you focus in on yourself and on your own personal goals and you're, working on improving yourself, sometimes things just happen naturally where you're not like focusing so much energy on trying to fall in love or trying to be in a relationship, but you're so focused on doing good and improving yourself and helping others that sometimes these kind of things just kind of fall into place by themselves. So maybe not concentrating and focusing so much energy on that, but rather focus energy on, your projects, on, yourself, on healing and on helping other people heal. I think that's probably a good way to approach that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
Show love in 2021. I think that's what we
That's
came
right.
down to. Brotherly love, family love.
show love. Yes.
Everybody needs to show love.
Sisterly love.
We got to
Mm-hmm.
figure this out.
In
Everybody
business, I
has to
think
figure it out.
us. Let's just see where everybody's from. So, Ma, where are you at? Where are you from, and where are you at right now?
Well, I'm from New York, Brooklyn, East New York. And right now I'm actually in Baltimore, Maryland.
What's up, Baltimore?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Okay,
Yeah.
Cluren, where are you from? And where are you?
I'm from Austin, Texas, East Austin, Texas. Born and raised right there in the heart of the big state.
Okay.
And that's what. But I'm in Killeen, Texas right now. So
Okay.
Okay, Texas.
Dr. Jones.
I mean, hey, I was born in Baton Rouge since we're talking about where we were born. I was a military brat. We ended up in Fort Hood, Texas, and Killeen, Texas, around '93, right after they shot up the Lubies. But not to be negative, but that was what happened. We literally lived right next door to the Lubies that got mass shooting. But it was. But I'm in Austin right now. So Austin, Texas, Hood 'em Horns.
Okay.
And I'm from basically, I say Dallas, Garland, then moved to Houston, lived in Houston for like 20 something years. And I've been in Austin, Texas for the past 4 years. So yeah, so we got 3 Texas, 1 East Coast, okay? 1 East Coast. So I say all that to say this. So we're from different places, right? And all of us, every single one of us on here have some type of a business that we're running, right? In some capacity. Some stuff overlaps, okay? So I think that in 2021, as a community, Black people as a community, and I'm stuffing in all people, whether you're Haitian, whether you're, Honduran, wherever you're from, if you're Black, okay, we gotta support each other. We gotta support each other's. We gotta support each other's projects. We gotta support each other's businesses and things like that. That way, if we start supporting each other just a little bit more, like we'll see a lot more wins in our community. We can't complain if we're not going to actually do the things that will actually cause a change in a positive way. Anybody want to, tap into that topic there about like supporting each other more in 2021?
yeah, I think I would say that it's a great time to buy black. It's a great time to start your own businesses. It's a lot of people, being creative. Some people are, cooking out the house, baking out the house. Food trucks are becoming a big industry to get involved in. Most involved, try to get our people up on our credit, try to get the education of it and out as much as possible through word of mouth, social media, etc. All that. I think if you are starting a business, if you're getting into starting a business, that you'll have your times, but I think this is a great time to do it. And so if you never started a business and you want to get in it, I think you should just jump right in it. Don't be afraid. Like I say, I see people, because I move around a lot as far as me having to be present for the community through different situations. God has blessed me. I haven't contacted with COVID-19 at all. And I set around 60,000 people and marched with them from Houston Tillerson to the Capitol just a few months ago. And so, with me being an author, designer, jumping in a few other things, trucking, I want to get into the trucking industry. Got a CDL Class A, but I also want to go back to school to be an attorney. But just to stay on black business, I just want to encourage people to get out there and get real spontaneous. Get real artistic with it. Don't be afraid. I see the black dollar circling around right now. But I would like to also suggest that if you're going to offer some services, please remember the customer service as like your number one thing. Like, because one thing I always hear about black business and people want to spend their money with black business and they be having quality things is the customer service. So if you start any type of business where you're gonna present a service, always remember customer service is a great way to have longevity, to get your business spark booming, because it's the environment. It's the environment that you're going to place out there, and it's something that you created. So let it be a part of your creation, and let that be something that we all work for if you're going to come give a service. So
Okay. Okay, that's really good advice. That's great advice.
Yes.
So, everyone wants to, have their own business. Most people do, and everything like that. But what he's saying is important, that there's also the part of like customer service, or, how are you taking care of your clientele? How are you taking care of your new clients? How are you taking care of your customers, depending on what type of business you have? Is it good services, So I would say do your research first. I know that it's like jump in there and do it, but I'm going to say don't jump in there and do it. 2021 might be your year where you need to study and watch and maybe have a mentor, maybe like do some background research and see if this is even something that you want to do. It sounds enticing and all, but you got to remember, you lose your benefits. You don't have insurance. Some months are good, some months are bad, so it's glamorized right now to have your own business, but it's tough. And you got to put in way more hours than 40 hours a week, way more hours. So, me starting out, I was putting in probably maybe 90 hours a week. There's some nights I would not sleep. So, I would be up, I'll be studying my stuff.
Right.
Like, a master's degree worth of studying to start the company that I have now, So basically teaching yourself a whole degree of knowledge. And, that's a lot of sacrifice. You don't get to go party. You don't get to, see everyone's post on social media. You don't get to, be on FaceTime with your family and your girlfriends and all that. You have to sacrifice a lot. It's a lot that goes into it because you're the secretary, you're the PR person, you're the delivery man, you're the model, you're the spokesperson, you're everything. You're the designer, you're the logo, you're doing it all. You do it all by yourself because in the beginning, most times we don't have enough, money to hire all these people. So you are 10 people. And it's stressful, and it's a totally different life than, going to work and having your salary, knowing your hours, and, putting in your days off. So I'm not saying one world's better than the other one. I'm just saying make sure if it's something that you want to do, research it and make sure that it's right for you and know what you're getting yourself into because it's tough.
Right. Well, what I have to say to add to that, there's like you said, there's positive in everything, because the only thing about starting your own business is yours. There's as much stress as in working a 9 to 5 than there is doing your own business, because at that time, then your own, you are told what you can and cannot do.
Right.
And any given time, just like what's going on in COVID, a lot of people are suffering because they work a 9 to 5. And, now that the government is mandating and shutting things down, you don't have your own thing. I haven't worked a 9 to 5 and I don't know how many years. And once you put in the time, and it's not a sacrifice, it's actually a reward, because now you can live at the way you need to. You're in control of your destiny. They always said it's either you build your own dream or somebody will hire you to build theirs. You have that, let me tell you, the time that I put in and the hours I would do, if I had to do it all over again, I'll do it again and again and again and again. Right now I'm actually doing Forex trading, which, my father told me about years ago. And I was like, oh, I don't want, listen, let me tell you, I'm going to give you the link, www.epic.com/Forex moguls, MOGULS. Let me tell you, best thing I could have ever took the time to do now, because again, you could stay right in your house and make money, just trading the currencies. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go out. So if they shut things down and say, you know what, you can't eat today, you can log on from your phone, from your computer, and it's a skill that nobody could take from you.
Mom, tell them, about your background, all the things that you've done in the industry, and,
right. Well,
where you're at.
I've been in the music business, since I was 12. LL Cool J was the first person that put me on Good Morning America. And again, I did it independently. I made it to the billboards on an independent record label. When everybody was telling me, oh, you can't do it without, Sony and Def Jam and everything, I always went against the grain. When all the sheep went left, I'm going right, because I'm going to find a way that's less crowded. And it always worked for me. I never let people tell me, oh, you know what? Well, you need a 9 to 5 to survive. You need this, because that's the program. Once you unplug from the matrix, it's a beautiful world out there. So I've been on the billboards. I have a platinum record with Gerald Levert. I did a whole album with Coogee Rap, the Five Family Click album. I did stuff with NOE from Bird Gang, who did the Bird Gang money. I've done stuff with millions of people. And at the end of the day, I started to do real estate. I'm a real estate investor. I own multiple properties in Baltimore and New York, and I just keep finding a niche. You have to be a hustler. You can't let the world define who you are and put your back against the wall. So now that, they're cutting out tours and shows and everything, I started to do Forex trading, and 10 minutes, I made $1,400. Where else can you go and do that from your home? We making money, and I'm just learning. I'm learning. Then I logged in 2 minutes, made $456. It's like
Forex.
Yeah, it's the website is www.epic.com/Forex Forex moguls MOGULS. Yeah, and I joined because at first, again, everybody have their opinion. You cannot let nobody define you. You have to find what works for you. So I logged in. It's $99 a month. I gave it a try. So let me see. My father always told me about it. And once I started trading and learning, and I opened up my broker account, and I just started, trading little mini lots and then standard lots. Man, listen. I just opened up a big broker account. We trading with $50,000-$60,000. You can make the money, but you have to learn the skill. That's the thing. A lot of people don't want to take the time. Do it for me. Oh, it don't work, or this. You have to take the time. If you want it, you got to sit there. You got to learn it. But once you have the skill, you could do it from anywhere in this world, even on COVID shutdown.
That's good stuff. So basically, I think one good thing that she's saying is, as we talk about it being a goal, is be chancy. What's to say, take small risk in a new situation instead of predicting negative outcomes before giving them a try.
Right.
If I ask for a shot at the promotion, my boss might laugh in my face. Becomes if I ask for a shot at the promotion, my boss might think I have the guts and ambition. How can you stick your neck out at work or in your business in the new year? So being chancy is basically like what she's saying. She didn't know how that was going to go. She threw in a little bit and got a whole lot back. So, you got to use your intuition and sometimes just, step out on faith and try something. And, it may pay out. It may pay off. It may pay out. Also, I think it's important to not blow situations out of proportion. Blowing a situation out of proportion, what I may mean is personal or business. Sometimes, somebody didn't email me back. Oh gosh, people just don't, want to work with me, or this person's rude. You don't know what's going on with that person. So I think sometimes we let our minds go into this weird place and, may think negative things. And that may be a feature of somebody that has anxiety, to just not blow it out of proportion, take it for what it is at face value and keep moving, and just learn from that and keep moving. And you have a problem, trying to contact someone or, keeping the, lines of communication open when you're trying to do business, just, address it instead of thinking these negative things. Just address it and say, hey, I was expecting to maybe hear back from you within a day or two. It seems like it's been 2 weeks. Do you really want to work or do you not? Just say it, because that's better than harboring all that stuff on the inside of you that's going to stress you out. Go ahead.
I was saying you got to eliminate negativity. That's the biggest first thing you got to do. You got to get it out of your head. Then self-doubt and all those things. The first thing you do when you say you're going to do something, everybody's going to tell you that, no, we've never seen somebody do it like that. And people are going to sound supportive, but they're not going to be supportive. Right before you get to the goal, it's going to seem like the world is crashing around you. but you gotta eliminate that negativity, just like she was saying. Like you gotta get all the way, push it all the way through. Shouldn't have any negative thoughts at this point. The no just means next opportunity. You shouldn't even consider failure as an option. That's just one person saying no. There are millions, there's thousands, millions, thousands of people. There are thousands of music producers out there. There are thousands of people that will listen to you or read your book or listen to you on stage or want to hear your podcast. This is just one person saying no. One of the things that I've come to understand over this last 2020, over this past pandemic, is that you have so many opportunities and so many options. You could be doing 4 things at one time and still be able to complete all those tasks at a good amount of rate because of the time. Because I've been working at home lately. I haven't been able to do that forever. But working at home, it's just like I have so many opportunities to do so much more. And I think one of the things is like take that chance. Being a boss, having been a boss, I know Ms. Barker could speak to the same thing. How many people that are not qualified come to you asking for a promotion all the time? People that are not, they always want to move up, and they don't have the skills. They don't have
Ambition.
Ambition to go to the next level either. And then they don't want a promotion. Then you have people that are doing the job correctly, that are being the leaders on the schools, being the leaders on campuses, and the ones that are putting in that effort. They never ask for a promotion because of that self-doubt, and you want to get that promotion. So I think one of the key things too, when you're going through your career or in your business, like she said, take that chance. People are, you never know. There's one no. I'm sure we've all heard no a lot of times in our lives. And what has it done but help us out in life?
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So, so with 2021 approaching, I think that, we also need to be like honest with ourselves and say everything isn't going to change like overnight because a new year, the clock strike 12 midnight and it's 2021 now. Woo, my whole life just changed. That's not, and I think that it's kind of cute and silly because that's kind of like when you're a kid, it's like, woo, new year, whole new me, and it's like, no, if you've not done any self-work and you're not thinking more positively and you're not working through the things that, have you doing things in a pattern that keep causing things to not work out for you, there's not going to be any difference in 2021. This isn't a magic trick. It's just a new year. Yeah, we're happy to go into the new year because this one had a lot of tragedy and loss. And we're hoping for better, which we should. That's good. But I think being realistic and being a realist is also important as we go into 2021. Getting a life coach, mentor, finding a tribe is important because if you're not rooted and grounded in the right place with the right people about the right thing for you, you're not going to produce the results that you're looking for. Sorry. So you got to do a lot of that work too before you can get to the fun stuff of winning big in your own company. That takes there's a lot of steps before we get there. So if you haven't finished those steps, 2021 might be the year where you go and, you rewrite your story. That way you can be able to receive what's meant for you because it's still there. It's still there for you, but you have to do those steps to get there and receive that. It's just sitting there waiting for you. If you don't do those steps right, you're never going to get to it, even though it's sitting there waiting for you and it has your name on it.
Yeah. A lot of people out there are stuck right now. They don't know what to do. A lot of people are just in a position where they're just like, man, I don't know. I can't leave a house. I can't find a job. I can't do this. This is the biggest thing what Tina just said is find a mentor, get a coach, find somebody that's getting into the position or the job or the career or whatever that you're doing. And they're gonna say they don't hate when you say pick the brain, but you're gonna have to like pick the brain and figure out this is what happens. There are people that I watch right now. The person I'm watching right now is Barack Obama. Whatever he does, I'm doing. If he's saying this in the news, I'm saying it. And if he's going after that, I'm going after that. If he's that, like, I'm watching him. I'm saying if he's writing a book, I'm writing a book. If he's making a podcast, I'm writing a podcast. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get a mentor that's going to look and see the things that you need to do. And during this time of, there we go, the book right here. The book right here, Promised Land. See, I mean, if you're writing a book, you got to do what's right, in this time of in this time of need, you gotta change the world. So get a mentor,
Cluren,
and take
how
it
do
to
you
the
feel
next
about that?
level.
Well, the reality is, we're going to be around a lot of more negativity than we are around positivity. So it'll be wise to try to produce positivity. The more positivity that you produce, the more that you'll be able to outweigh the negativity that you'll
Mm-hmm.
wind up encountering. Um, when you're dealing with energy and you're dealing with people. I absorb energy, so a lot of times I gotta take breaks. I can't just do the full steam business ass
Good.
everyday mind frame. See, that ain't gonna work for me because of what I am responsible of doing. See, right now I'm still trying to make sure that we got resources for those people who need help with their electricity bills, who gonna continue to need help for the months to come. One thing we all should have learned by now is that we can't rely on our government. We can't continue to rely solely, I should say, on our government. I don't care who it is, what their name is. This is not the time to get stuck on politics because once they get your attention, then you lose sight of reality of what's really affecting you. See, in the state of Texas, it's kind of like we live in like we cut off from the United States. So whatever these people want to happen here is what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what's going on in New York, no matter what's going on in California. If these people say we ain't doing this and doing that, and the rest of the United States say they gonna do it, guess what? We ain't doing it in the state of Texas. So when you got that type of power, and then you got the type of money that you got, Texas by itself got more money than 20 countries. 20 countries. So this place is powerful. And as you can see, all big businesses running to try to get here and set up. And we talking about Tesla, we talking about Google, we talking about Samsung, we talking about everybody you think about. Apple, they trying to make sure that they build their towers here, headquarters here, and get in on this lifestyle of money flowing in. Being in Austin, the resources is plentiful for minorities and things. It's hard because we got the lowest quality of life in Austin as Black people. Um, and that's kind of like the slap in the face. It's plenty of resources, but we still got the lowest quality of life. And so I think that 2021 for me personally is a time to see what all the seeds are planted. You got to plant your seeds, and like you say, to some people it might be 2021 may be the time that you plant your seeds. But for me personally, I've been granted the protection that I need to accomplish some major things in my life. And I use that and I say that for encouragement and through the times and the loss and the death and the sicknesses that are plagued around us and surround us by our family members, our friends, and our communities. Okay. So this is a very hard time. It's hard not to think about it, right? It's hard to not keep it on your mind continuously. And so what I ask is I tell people, hey, don't worry about getting rid of it. Use it. Understand it. Understand why you are still here. Understand why you are still alive and you're healthy. And why understand why you're in position to do these. There's a lot of education that needs to go on in our community. There's a lot of information that needs to be given. There's a lot of staples in the community that need to step up. Okay, and so I think that this for me this year was a life changing experience there in leadership and in my personal life. I finally got to do some things and not have to kind of like worry about the repercussions of being in the streets. For I know you guys don't know me, but before I was an activist, all I did was mess with pretty women and sell a bunch of drugs, and I was
Something right.
you hear what I'm saying? I had my money coming in, and that was my thing. I put in little businesses, do some things, and that was all right with me. But the calling of helping others, changing lives, and not just one or two, but hundreds at a time, changing my life, being an inspiration, writing 2 books in just a matter of months. I got a children's book here called Oscar Wants to Fly. Excuse me. You can get that on Amazon, written by Cluren Williams. It's for your children. I released this earlier this month, just a little bit earlier, just for the holidays, so we can kind of like get black kids who look like me, which a lot of black kids now are gonna look like me, white kids too, Mexicans and Chinese. And I also have an adult book, Music, Money, and Murder, based on a true story about me when I started my music business and selling drugs, but also change. So, but it's all about change and the inspiration of change.
What's that book called?
Huh?
What's that book called?
Music, Money, and Murder by Cluren Williams. Both on Amazon, Kindle, ebook, Barnes and Nobles. You can go check those out. I have signature books available that I mail out myself so that I can get my money. Like she said, I haven't had a job ever almost. But I did take on jobs. I'm the type of person that I literally went and I worked as a host and a bartender so that I can learn my own actual value and respect for people in those positions. It's some things like you was talking about dirty work, about getting formally educated on some of the things you want to do, making sure that you can match the skills and the talents together, because some of us are born with the talent and then we have to develop the skill to be great, and that's kind of like the difference. And so we want to implement those things, and a lot of us just take our street knowledge and stuff and we just say, hey, we don't need the rest of the book sense, we just go ahead with it. Or some of us just like to take the book sense and not add on the hands-on training that you can receive maybe some of your peers if you communicate a lot. And like I say, communication is going to be a very, very, very focused thing for Black people in business and anything. If you're trying to do something now, it is about getting outside the box and getting with the like-minded. Right now, and the way that we different places around the world, we're still being able to communicate, right? And so since the level of technology has given us the opportunity to connect with like-minded, no matter where they are around the world, this is what's going to give us the advantage we'll need to get in position to do some of the things that we want to do no matter where you're located. And these are some of the things that we like to implement in our own community while we build here in Austin. And I take right now, like I said, I'm in Cluren, Texas. I just did a whole event and got with the city council and the mayor and everybody. And that's just kind of like what I want to do. I want to go everywhere around the world and do that. And it's like, so don't allow what's going on and the death and the sickness of 2020 to take you away or make you feel like it's impossible, but do have a sense of urgency. Love as you never loved before. Work hard as you ever work. If you have not done something, do it and get it done. This is not a time to lack. It is not a time to play or act like as if you will not see what's going on. This is real. If you ain't thought it was real, this year should have shown people around the world that it is real as possible. So all the small quarrels and the differences that we have between each other because of gender or skin or religion, if you do not put them away now, you might not have a tomorrow to get it right. And that is a firm message that I love to leave with my people, especially my followers and the followers of you guys of this show. And thank you again, Tina Ricks, for allowing me to be on this show today with you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cluren. I think that things that you're passionate about, and I think that it's all stuff that can help us, and help people that are listening. You have some wise things to share, and it's great that you're doing things like being an author and making books that, children relate to. I think that that's awesome. We have Matthew Perry, and he has the what's the book called? It's the hair book. And that one did really well, and he has an animation to it, and has an that. So Hair Love, I think that's the name of it, Hair Love. So it's wonderful that there's others that are also writing books that are made for us, by us, and and it's spreading out to the world because we need to catch up. We have a lot of catching up to do. Other people have been very comfortable with their looks, and they are so comfortable that it's become the universal standard of beauty. Wow, imagine that. So we got a long way to go to get there to where we are considered a universal standard of beauty as well. And we stop trying to strive for something that's not who we are, which needs to be proud of our own features, our own body, our own, strengths, of our, different personality types that come from different ethnicities and races, different features of your character and stuff that we are told are negative are actually, they're actually good. To be strong, that's a good thing. To be determined, that's a great thing. To not take crap from people, those are all good things, but they're all turned into like negative, bitter, mean, angry, sassy, and things like that. So if we learn where to channel that energy into the right direction, we can turn that into a collective power, that can, do a lot of good in our communities. And if each community is doing good, then what does that happen? It turns into a national thing. So, one of the things that Cluren said was, focus on your community and not be like so caught up in like the politics and all of that kind of stuff. So if we're focused in on our community and we're healing our little communities from the inside out, we're gonna, start connecting those roots, things start to connect. So when I say connecting the roots, like our spirits start to connect and we're kind of all doing one thing that is for one purpose. And whenever there's power in numbers. So if we're all doing that, we can definitely see a change. And in 12 months, that's a lot of time to see a lot of change. So if we get on the ball right away, we can get really far.
Right. What I was gonna say is, it's funny. It's like I said, once you unplug from the matrix, reality starts. Meaning, just us being beautiful and knowing our worth. We only see it that is not theirs when we plug into the matrix. You can't be of, and you got to be in this world and not of this world. Because where I'm at, all of the little Black kids and everybody knows that they're beautiful. It's only when they plug into that television that tell lies to the vision. And I'm on a different level of training now. Like, I don't have a New Year's resolution. I mean, I don't believe in 2021 or 22. It's just the next day. So if New Year's Eve is on Thursday, it's actually just Friday. Really, they set it up all the time. Even the holidays. Oh, Father's Day. Let's celebrate Father's and Mother's Day. We've been in the program so long, we don't know what to do anymore until you unplug from it. So every day, my fight is to be better than I am yesterday, and that's what I do. I don't get ready for 2021 because you already set yourself up for failure because you wait for that time of the year. Oh, this new year, I'm going to do this. And by the time the second and third month, you back to the same person. You have to work this every single day. And you got to understand a lot of things that's going on has nothing to do with us. We involve ourselves in a fight that has nothing to do with us. We're so much bigger than what's going on. But we gotta know, once you see the God and the goddess in you, then you're gonna understand the true meaning. This whole thing of life is temporary. And one teacher told me is that picture yourself every day in the casket. See, a lot of people don't want to talk about that. You should see yourself every day in the casket. That way you can appreciate every moment you have, because that day is coming. That day is coming. So everything, be scared of what? Fear what? What do you need? What is success? We out here trying, I need to be successful. It depends on what your definition of success is. Listen, I don't think I could be any more successful than I am. I have 3 beautiful children, a fiance that takes great care of me. I've been on the billboards. I wanted to do music. I did that. I made it to TV. I did that. I wanted to do real estate. I created. It's a thought first. See, that's why you got to control your thoughts, because thoughts become actions. And my thing is who defines success for you? Who says what's pretty? Who says what's ugly? Who gave all these people the power to eat over you? So I unplugged from people long time ago. I always do what I feel in my gut. I give back to the community, but I'm going to tell you, the work I do is in my home, because if everybody took care of their kids, if you look at the murders that's going on, the vaccines, all of the horrific, raping of kids, this is some woman put these kids here. This is somebody's child. Yes. The goddess, which is us, we put these people here. So, I know I love it when people do things for the community, but sometimes you see these same brothers and sisters out here doing for the community, for the TV, and not taking care of their home. Make sure the kids you bring into this earth become the great people they need to be. If everybody go back home and take care of their house, then we wouldn't have to worry about the community, because the community of these great people that we're raising. We're home, talking down to these kids, and frustrated, and broken relationships, and so much hurt. You teach your kids that. You teach them they hate their father. The father teach them they hate their mother. They throw the kids in the middle, and then we want this to be our future. You understand? So who's in the community? The community is the kids that everybody's laying down and creating. Take care of your kids. Make sure your kids are beautiful. That's what I do. I pump love into my sons, my daughters. They know they kings, they queens, they know where they from. And I did my job for the community as well, because I'm going to make sure the 3 people I put on this earth become great people.
Yeah.
And if everybody done that, we would have a better world. You understand what I'm saying? It's just so hard trying to take care of everybody. Everybody got to take care of their home.
Good stuff. Really good
Hey,
stuff. That's the stuff that someone.
right on 100.
Yeah,
Real talk.
really, amen.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, that's
Got it, Ma.
Every day is better. Man, I feel that. Every day.
And
real. People don't want to hear the truth, but if you talk to me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's cool to get back. Of course, do what you gotta do, but then you go home and you hear these women cursing these little kids out, talking to them because they frustrated.
Right.
Everything that you are, right now we're all sitting here talking. We created this. Every situation. When you got kids and they getting on your nerve, they didn't ask to be here. You put them there. The bad relationships, the bad job you hate, you created. It's a thought that you created. Everything, the same prison. People don't have to be in prison. They don't have to be in jail to be in prison. Some people build their own prison around them. They put themselves there. So you got to break yourself out. And it all starts from here. You said something earlier, Tina, and just to add to it is life is a switch. It's an on and off, just based on your perception. You can change your life right this moment if you change your perception and the way you see things. You could have been a miserable person all your life, and if you decide today to turn that switch off, and you say you're going to be, you can change overnight. You can change your life overnight.
Right.
You just got to keep, just like you take a shower every single day, every night you wash this, and you got to train. You got to do the same thing with your thinking. It's an everyday training. You got to go to training. So,
yeah, absolutely.
You're right. We did create this.
An attitude of gratitude is so important, because the mere fact that you woke up is something to be thankful for. People say, I don't have anything to be thankful for. That's a lie. You could be like somebody that you talk to these little kids that walk down the sidewalk every day, that they are going to school, and ask them how their day was, and you give them a high five and go, yay, that's awesome. And that's like your thing. And that thing is what that kid looks forward to. And that thing is the only positive thing that happens in that kid's evening, because they're going home to an abusive household where they're talking to the kids crazy, like Ma just said. So you don't ever know who you're touching by just being yourself, your healthy self. If you just get positive and are just healthy, it may not be that you're going to turn into a millionaire ever in your life, but the mere fact is that you're going to be depositing millions of blessings in other people's lives that you touch, because you are working and operating in your most positive and most highest self. So sometimes that is your purpose. No, everyone can't be meant to be rich here on earth, or else rich wouldn't mean anything. It's not going to happen. But you can definitely enrich yourself and, bless other people by just being your best self. Show up as your best self. Yeah.
Or you just got to know what you're rich in. Some people are rich in blessings, and they don't understand. We're all rich. Yeah. They don't understand. You got healthy kids. They got all their fingers and toes. They're smart. It's so many things to smile at.
Yeah. It's the separating your wants from needs type of situation, and being grateful too, what I'm saying, go a long way when you just able to say, thank you for what you do. Got a lot of people just got a very high expectation out of stuff. Things should go fast, like I call it like a popcorn hustle. They kind of like want things to happen instantly. And when it doesn't happen that way, they're either discouraged or they have an attitude. And it's the same way it goes along when you try to correct somebody, man or woman. If you can't accept correction, then you're just it's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be very tough. And you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff by yourself because nobody's gonna want to deal with that because can't nobody talk to you. And so that also goes with trying to make sure that you're healthy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm totally with you. Making sure, like I said that also before. Making sure your household is right because as men, you have to do that. Especially if you also are going to deliver a message or a service or whatever you may be. God may have you for in this kingdom, whatever the mission may be, and you on that mission to inspire others in any type of form or fashion. We got to make sure that the household is straight. You know what I mean?
Okay, make sure the household is straight. I'd say two things: see a fresh start in a loss. If you took an L, see that as a fresh start to start over and reinvent yourself. There's no such thing as the thing that society does. Is ask you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Not what do you want to own when you grow up. And also, it's like that's what you chose and that's it. That's it. You chose to be this and that's it. No do-over. Make it work. That's a lie. And, you're allowed to change who you are and what you're about as many times as you want to in this life. As long as you're here. If you're trying to improve yourself, you can scratch it all and you can start all over again. Over and over again until you get right and get to where you want to be. So always see things as a chance and an opportunity to reinvent yourself or do better, whenever you take a big loss, big or small. So see it as just room for improvement. And also practice solitude. We definitely can practice that since we're all still quarantining, right? So solitude, means, taking that time to yourself to just really take a self-inventory about what's going on with you and then looking down into your life, kind of like a self-reflection, a bird's eye view into your own life. So you step out of yourself and look down at it and say, hey, what can I fix here? What dynamics are off? Am I communicating correctly? Am I being my best self each day? Or do I lay in bed as long as I, want and don't get up and I'm not eating healthy and, I'm going back and doing the same things that cause me to not feel good and cause my brain to not work as best as it can, so solitude gives you the chance to look over those things in your life. But if you have the phones going and you're on all the social media platforms, even though you're alone, you're not having any quiet time and you're not in solitude, you're still super stimulated by all of these things. So you're not able to focus on yourself and focus on healing yourself, focus on reviewing what you are doing and being reflective in making those changes. One last thing before I wrap and allow everybody to kind of tell everybody about the things that they do and where they can find it, because we're getting close to that 55-minute mark. The last thing I want to say is really having that positive attitude is very important, and visualizing your future self is important. So if there's something that you want to be or do, some people are just naturally have a gift of being a visionary, and they see these things and then they chase it. For others, it doesn't come that easily. So create a vision board and put your future self on there. Then you put the steps and the routes it's going to take for you to get to where you are now and to go meet that future you. How are we going to get there? What is bridging the gap? All of your attempts, all of the things that you put in line, the schooling, the education, whatever it is that you're going to need to get there, the mentor, the new tribe, all those things need to be on that map that's going to get you from where you are right now to where you're trying to be and who that future person is. So kind of have that mapped out and refer back to that. If you need a visual, if you're a mental person and you don't want to write it down, that's fine. But if you're visual, I think it's always good to write down your visions. It's always good because you'll go back and look back and be like, I wrote that in 2010 and look at where we're at. I met all of those, it feels good because that helps you realize that you are actually making progress. So I'm going to be quiet now and I'm going to let everybody share their projects and all the things that they do, where to find them at, what your social media is and everything. So let's start with you, Mom.
Okay, well, You can find me on Instagram at Tina, Tina _Brule, BRULEE. Also, like I said, check out that site I gave you guys. You will thank me in a year or so from now, the www.epic.com /Forex moguls.
Give me that IG again.
It's Tina, Tina _Brule, BRULEE. And you can just Google me, Ma Barker. I'm everywhere. You'll find me.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Cluren.
Okay. Thank you again so much, Tina, for having me today. Nice to meet you, Ma.
You too.
Look forward to doing some business with you
Same
sometime
here.
in the future. So this year, like I said, I move around a lot. You can contact me on my social media sites under my name, as you see under here, Cluren, CLUREN Williams. That's on Facebook. IG KKMG Jinx D _ Moneybags. Twitter at Cluren Williams. You can also email me, first name 78 at gmail.com. So that's first name 78, Cluren, CLUREN 78 at gmail.com. IG, yeah, KKMG JINX D _ D as in dog, money bag. And my email, first name 78 at gmail. You can find all my books, like I said, on all platforms, Amazon, ebook, Barnes and Nobles. Even though they don't promote Black authors, like to get together with all Black authors, make sure that we supporting one another also in that field. I have upcoming things coming on 2021. Like I said recently, my brother was shot 12 times by the Austin Police Department. He survived. His name is Lawrence Parrish. You can hashtag Free Pickle, which is a nonprofit that I also started on behalf of my brother and the community, to make sure things like this doesn't happen anymore. My brother survived, and we have one of the biggest lawsuits on the state of Texas right now. And we're still going to court, and we're still waiting to receive justice after 2.5 years after my brother was shot. So if anybody would like to get involved, help me at hashtag, get the word out there. We need support. We need justice. Hashtag justice for Lawrence Parrish.
Lawrence.
LAWRENCE.
Okay.
Parrish with 2 R's. PARRISH. So justice for Lawrence Parrish. He was shot April 7, 2017 in Austin, Texas, right off of MLK Boulevard.
Wow.
In his home alone. And we need more people out there, getting the word out there. We need more big name artists. We need more personalities. We need more podcasts. We need more people voicing their concern for Lawrence Parrish. The same way we're fighting for Mike Ramos and his family, who was recently gunned down in Austin, Texas. We still screaming justice for Mike Ramos and Landon Nobles, and the list goes on. We have one of the highest rate, if not the highest rate, with police incidents and murders in the city of Austin, Texas, in the United States of America. And so these names don't get out very much. They don't get 10% of the publicity that other cases have gotten. That's not to say anything negative about it. It's just to say that we like to try to vocalize and put our feet on the ground as much as possible for people and families like this, like mine and Mike Ramos. We've done a lot of protesting, but we have not seen a lot of results, if any results at all, in this city. So that's one thing I like to do. So if you like to contact me, just reach me on my social media sites. I reach back. And again,
1 minute mark. Dr. Jones, go.
He fell off.
Okay, so Dr. Jones, he's an author. He's a professor at Grambling, and he's an author, and he has a book published called I Used to Hate School. You can go and find that online on Amazon. And also, you can find him on any social media platform at Dr. Harrison Jones IV. Dr. Harrison Jones IV. Okay, so as far as for me, I'm Tina Riggs. I am a film director. I am a recording artist. I am a licensed psychotherapist. I have 3 mental health companies here in Texas, and we have a film series out called Music and Mental Health. We want you to go follow the IG page at Thought Positive Media. And also follow our Facebook that is also Thought Positive Media. All right. There's more information there. And the docuseries is called Music and Mental Health. We have to go. Peace, love, and light. We are almost at the 60-minute mark. So we'll see you.